We are live. Welcome, history setting week for Ripple and XRP. We're going to get into all of this and more. I got a ton of new information, guys. We're going to look at Bitcoin. We're going to look at XRP. We're going to look at some updates as far as what's going on with tokenization. There's a new DTCC clip. Man, there's just, Joseph Lubin stuff. There's tokenization of financial assets, new information. We've got an angel update. I got so much news. It's going to make your head spin. What's going on, everybody? How's it going? AK Scarface at the ready, man. He was first. Gotta give him the credit, man. Thank you so much for being here. Really appreciate you. Looks like we have some scam comments at the top. Love to see those. We're just going to bypass all of that here. We got Eric here. What's up, Eric? Great to see you, man. Ariana, LAX are here to keep the chat safe. The chat safe. That was a tongue twister. What's up, guys? Cat Hart, good to see you. Welcome, Cat. Svetter 6, great to see you. Michael, great to see you. Joe, what's up, Joe? Chipper's here. Nice to see you, Chipper. Joe in the house. Raymond, April. Alex says hi from England. We got Brett from Australia. We got, how do you say this? Mahistas. I screwed that up. I'm sorry, man. Nice to see you, brother. How you doing? How you doing? All right, we're good. We're good. Good to see every one of you. We already have 200 and something people here, guys. Please like and share the chat if you can. I'd really appreciate that and getting in front of other people. Last stream, we did set a record of having over 3,150 people on stream. It was really cool. It was a cool moment for me. So I really appreciate, guys. Thank you so much for all your support. You are all very, very incredible people. Let's go ahead and take a look here at what's been going on with the market. Of course, I will answer as many questions as I can. Let me just get going with a little bit of news here before we do that. Looks like Bitcoin here is at $108,921 this week here. I mean, we did have a little bit high. Bitcoin did break the $110,000 mark back on the 2nd. Just at the start of the month. And then we've been, kind of getting rejected. We got rejected here, trying to get back to that level. And, we'll have to see how all of this plays out. But it's really, really cool to see Bitcoin at 110,000. Obviously, Bitcoin at 200,000 would be, I think everyone would be doing some weird dances, in the privacy of their home, when like nobody's looking and you bust out some moves and you're like, man, that was cool. I wish somebody saw that. That's the kind of the dancing that will happen. Solana is at $150. BNB $659. XRP sitting here at $2.30. I mean, love to see that. We had a high here of about 234 over the last 7 days, and this is nice momentum here, right? At the start of the week, we're down here at $2.17, and towards the back half here, we're at $2.30. Really, really like to see that. I wanted to see a few other things here. Sui's at 289. I have been buying more Sui. People ask me all the time, Sensei, what cryptos are you buying? I think I've talked about Sui almost in every single Sensei chat since this thing was like 60 or 70 cents. So I keep adding Sui. I do think right now Sui is probably the better buy for me than buying, let's say, like Solana at $150. Chainlink, of course, is very important. That's up 8.25% at $13.90. Stellar at 25 cents. Stellar is up 14.73%, guys. Stellar, I've been looking at acquiring some more Stellar as well. After I talked with Edo Farino, man, he was really, really bullish on XLM. That's probably something you should be taking a look at too. All right. That rounds out just the top tokens that, of course, we talk about the most on this channel. I did want to get into some really unique, cool news. Looks like Jack Dorsey, after selling Twitter, the man had so much money and nothing to do. So he decided to look at this. Jack Dorsey bit chat lets users send Bitcoin without internet access by using Bluetooth or mesh networks. The App Store's transactions into reaching an online device to broadcast to the Bitcoin network, making it ideal for blackouts, emergencies, and off-grid use. Interesting. And kind of here is a little bit more information on that. I just thought this was really cool. Anytime you can be able to send money without a internet connection is going to be, vastly important in the payment systems of the future. And looks like Jack Dorsey found a way to do this with Bitcoin. So love to see that. There are a lot of people posting right now. It says the biggest alt season starts today. I just want to take a look at what this person is saying in this post. Altcoin index. Oh, actually, you know what? Hold on. let's move this. Let me move this here. I want to let me finish the Bitcoin news here before we do that. Sorry. Bitcoin dominance is forming a bearish pattern, and if it drops below 65%, altcoins will pump hard. We'll have to see if that's exactly what plays out here. But here is the dominance, as you can see here. It has try to make a new high here, and then it keeps kind of getting rejected here, and it is kind of moving downwards. Obviously, if Bitcoin dominance falls, that's when altcoins can really start to take off. If and when altcoins start to take off, obviously it'll be like Ethereum. And then once you see Ethereum start to go to do some crazy numbers, altcoins will follow. Jack Mallers, not my favorite person in the world, but I want to give him, his 40 seconds of fame here. Jack Mallers explains why Bitcoin is a universal tool that 8 billion people will have to use. Let me play it, and then I'll give you my honest feedback.
I've developed the opinion that money is a core nucleus to a functioning society akin to water. That's one of my favorite quotes of myself, is that it's one of the only market goods that we all have to use. It doesn't really matter where you're from, who you are, your gender, your race, your ethnicity, your beliefs, your religion. It doesn't matter. Money is what scaled society larger than a couple hundred people and allowed us to move on from something like barter and into what is now a global economy of billions of people. And that's a very rare product, right? Like, not everyone eats steak. Not everyone has an iPhone. Not everyone shops on Amazon. A lot of people, but not everyone. Everyone has to use money.
I don't know why my man, he's got so much money. Why doesn't he like fill his closet with stuff? It's a bare closet. This closet's been like this for so long. And maybe I'm just kind of, my man has a gigantic house, and he sits in the closet with nothing in the closet to do these interviews. I just don't understand it, but all good. Listen, I do think at one point, all people will start to use cryptocurrency, even though they don't realize that they're using it. It will be on the back end of, FX and international payments. Now, the problem here is, right? The problem that I have personally is, do I spend $100,000 or $110,000 and buy one Bitcoin, or do I put that $110,000 into like XRP and HBAR and SUI and XLM and a few other things, right? Like, if I'm looking at a 5 or 10 year scale, will Bitcoin give me a larger return just owning that one Bitcoin, or will it give me a larger return owning those other assets? And personally, my feeling, just as a researcher out here, not as a financial advisor, I think that it would be better for me and my family to put more money into XRP and SUI and XLM and these types of things, rather than just buying one Bitcoin. Now, everybody is different. Everybody comes from a different background, has different money to invest. And a lot of other people can't afford $100,000 to just buy one Bitcoin. And so this is why I think other assets, as soon as people realize that it's not just Bitcoin, I think other assets will do extremely well, especially when you're talking about the tokenization of financial assets. All right, let's get into some really, really cool stuff here. Brad Garlinghouse, he has said, he just posted this yesterday. I am honored to be invited to testify in front of the Senate Banking Committee this Wednesday on the need for passing crypto market structure legislation. Says thank you to the banking GOP, Senator Tim Scott, Loomis, and another person as the leaders of the subcommittee for digital assets. Your leadership, both with this hearing and over the years in championing the crypto industry, has been critical to getting us to this very important moment. Constructive crypto market structure legislation is in the US is imperative in bringing about a new era of innovation and financial opportunities. So Brad Garlinghouse will officially be in front of Congress. And I did find one of the looks to be his opening statement. Now, it is difficult to verify. So I got to just realize like who's posting this. Subject Views has posted a lot of accurate information. I did put this into Perplexity to ask if this is a real document. And so I said, is this real? I have the document down here. It says, yes, the event described in the document is real. Brad Garlinghouse, CEO of Ripple, is scheduled to testify, yada, 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 and all of that stuff. The document and statements about XRP Ledger and decentralized open source. So it does look like this is a real statement. So I'm going to read you to what Brad is going to say in front of Congress here. Now, obviously this can change or something else can happen, but this is the statement that is floating around X currently right now. It says the testimony of Brad Garlinghouse, CEO of Ripple, United States Senate Banking Committee, Housing on Urban Affairs. And it says, from Wall Street to Web3, building tomorrow's digital asset markets. Good morning, Chair Scott, Ranking Member Warren, and members of the committee. Thank you for your opportunity to appear before you today. My name is Brad Garlinghouse. I am the CEO of Ripple. Ripple has nearly 900 employees and across our 15 offices worldwide. Ripple was founded more than a decade ago with a mission to enable the internet of value, a world where money moves like information does. We build software products that power cross-border payments, stablecoins, and digital custody. Ripple helps financial institutions reduce friction, unlock efficiencies, and serve their customers better. These are not abstract concepts. We work every day with banks that rely on the technology to deliver real results for the global economy. And this is highlighted here. Ripple leverages the XRP ledger, a decentralized, battle-tested open source blockchain, and its native digital asset XRP to facilitate payments. XRP is built to enable fast, low-cost, and highly scalable transactions. There is a lot more to this letter, guys. I am not going to read it all word for word, but I will have clips of Brad Garlinghouse. Obviously, I'm going to make content about this as soon as I have them in my hands. I will have my editor rush them online as soon as we get it. It should be a pretty good hearing tomorrow, and I will be watching, and I hope you will watch too. All right. Digital Perspectives did say this. I thought this was good. I can't help but feel like tomorrow is going to be an historic day for XRP, the beginning of a coronation for Ripple and XRP, if you will. So Brad Kimes says, Brad Garlinghouse testifies in front of the Senate Banking Committee. XRP and the XRP ledger will be mentioned and discussed by senators inside the halls of the Senate at the exact time that the SEC versus Ripple case ends. At the exact time that Ripple released a US digital dollar RLUSD. At the exact time that Ripple just so happens to file for a national banking charter and a master account with the Federal Reserve. I'm sure it's nothing. No, I'm just kidding. Lock in. So, you know, this is a time where if you would have asked me a year ago, year and a half ago, if I would have thought Brad Garlinghouse would be testifying in front of Congress about, you know, the role of what Ripple does, XRP, and the future of crypto in the United States, I'd probably say you're crazy. Like, that's not going to happen, man. You know, and it's just funny how the world works and how things can, you know, happily change. And this is a defining moment. You know, I talk with my dad a lot about the crypto industry, right? And you know, since I'm in it, you know, full time. And he, you know, he's watching stuff, you know, sometimes on his phone. It's a very cool thing to be able to share the excitement about all of this news and information with somebody else. And actually, you know, my dad doesn't usually watch my content. I don't know. He's an older guy. But he recently has been calling me to tell me that his phone has been recommending my content to him. And so I thought that was a really cool thing that, I've been making content for on XRP and Ripple in September, it'll be 3 years, but then I've been making content on YouTube for 5 years. And so, that was just a nice moment. So anyway, let me see what you guys are saying here. Right. 1 year ago, XRP was like, let's see here. Christopher says XRP was like 50 cents. Progress has definitely been made. I hate when people get so impatient. I'm not rich yet. This has to be done correctly. So yeah, I think you know, if you remember, like, I don't know how old you guys are, you know, everyone here is going to be different ages. You know, the most people that watch my channel are like 35 to 65. And so you can remember a time when, you know, we didn't even have crypto. We didn't even have cell phones, right? And to look at the evolution of technology has been pretty amazing, right? Before the internet was even here. Remember, you know, before like Google Maps and all that stuff, remember you used to have like, well, first you had to get directions. Like it was like, go down, you hit the train tracks, you take a left at the first tree, you know, like that was how you got directions before. And then you had like MapQuest, and then it was now you have like everything in your car, right? And you know, it's just interesting how technology evolves. And I think we're at that point where financial infrastructure, financial products are evolving, and we have a real opportunity to own a piece of that infrastructure. And like that is something that doesn't happen overnight. And it's something that, yeah, people are very impatient. I think people like, especially if they're trading meme coins and the meme coin goes from like 50K to like 10 million in a day, and they, they can make a 500x or something like that. It's very, very risky, right? 99.9% of meme coins are scams, then go to zero. But, people have that type of mindset and mentality. And that's a real problem, because anybody that has invested in like stocks for the long term understands that they've probably made the most money holding that over a long period of time. And I think that's the same thing with crypto. All right, let's see what else we got. Sensei, what's your actual prediction? Oh man, for short-term price action of XRP after tomorrow. Do we get longs liquidated down to 220 or lower? I am not a chart expert. I don't have a crystal ball. I know there's more forward push momentum right now that I've ever seen in the XRP space. Like, I am doing so much content right now. I'm already making 2 videos a day, and I probably could make 3 or 4 videos a day, honestly, how much stuff there is. And I've never been this excited about the opportunity of what's to come. And, I think regulation is something that's very much needed. So if Congress announces that the stablecoin, the Genius Act is passed and pushed through, that will give a big push. If the Clarity Act, or crypto regulation, if that is also passed, that will give a big push. And if you take a look back at July, Bitcoin historically has had good months in July, more good than bad. So, is this year going to be different from other bull cycles? Usually July is a green month. And so, with all of this forward momentum, I would think we could break through some of these levels. But like I said, I've been watching TA in the XRP space for like 5 years. And I know that a lot of it, just doesn't happen the way that some people do. And then when it does happen the way that some people lay it out, they're a genius. And so, I would say, pay attention to those people that have a good reputation of calling, these short cycles. I'm not looking like tomorrow or the next day. I'm looking long term. All right. We got Vadim in the house. Great to see you, Attila. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you for being a member of the channel. I love your support. You're awesome. I'm 64 years. Yeah, see, we have a lot of people that are kind of right in that range, and I think like people that are either like 20 years this way or 10 years this way of my age of 40, they understand some of my, the things that I remember and I bring up, and the jokes that I say. A lot of you understand that. People that are younger don't understand it. So all good. Whew. What's up, James? Good to see you here. So is there any reason Zebic crashed down? Is it like a fraud or fake? I lost with different results online. So yeah, that has been difficult. I've actually had my team spend some time on this. Let's look at this together, Attila. Let's look at this together. So I have, when you look at Zebic, hold on, let me pull this up for you. I've been seeing a lot of things posted about Zebic that have been a little concerning. And so I'm glad you brought this up, because I wanted to look at this with everybody to see if you're seeing the same thing. Because like, they're posting a lot of, looks like bullish information, but I did see some people really starting to FUD. Hold on, been posting about Zebic FUD. What are you investing in FUD, Zebic? Why waste your time? Hold on, let me see. This was a few days ago I was looking at this. Hold on 1 second. Let me see if I can find some of those posts. Ripple Zebic might be a scam on a whole different level. Let's listen to what this guy's saying here. Hold on.
Too much Zebic to even talk about in this episode of Crypto News in a Flash. Link 2 has apparently filed Chapter 11, which is much better than Chapter 7. Chapter 11 bankruptcy may mean that they have a strong intention to stay in business, because they are promising to pay back their debts. So bad news, yet positive news for those who bought the Ripple pre-IPOs from them. Federal Reserve is once again verifying the July 14th ISO 20022 launch with instructional videos and training resources. Ed Garlinghouse will be speaking at the Senate on Wednesday at a Senate Banking Committee. And I just want to highlight that Ripple fought tooth and nail for years against the SEC in the lawsuit, and suddenly they just gave up. Seems weird, right? I think timing is everything. I don't think they need that injunction removed. I think they just wanted it removed. I don't think it's required for their future goals either. I think they had to end it because the dominoes are falling. ISO 20022 goes live on July 14th. The Genius Act, the Clarity Act, the Anti-CBDC Act are all about to be signed into law soon. On top of that, Brad Garlinghouse has not spoken in front of the Senate or similar government hearings before. This is his first official testimony, and I promise on the subject for an XRP announced this access to tokenization. When I said there was too much to report, the community has been bombarding me with requests to look into Zebic since the White Rock videos, and I did an initial look at Zebic, and compared to White Rock, Zebic looks like the most legit company in the world, which, being fair, it isn't very hard to do against White Rock. White Rock makes it easy for other companies to look legit. All Zebic had to do was have at least one legit partner that posted support for Zebic, and that made them 1,000% more legit than White Rock. But to Zebic's defense, they have a lot of partners that promote their name. So from my eyes, it looks good, at least compared to White Rock. But I've been getting a lot, and I mean a lot of info on Zebic from the community. As you can see from my flooded Discord channel, there is so much info. It's going to take a while to go through, but I'm not going to lie. From what I'm seeing, it's not looking positive for Zebic. There is a strong community consensus that it is a very fishy looking project. So it seems when it comes to Zebic, I can't use White Rock as the comparison. The claims are that this is an elaborate scam on a whole different level. But I'm not claiming anything either way. I never take a word at face value on anything without doing my due diligence. It may take a week or more to go through all this info, but I promise I will. Just like when I looked into White Rock, I truly wanted that project to be legit because a lot of people were invested in it. I wanted.
All right, so here, like, it's a mixed bag right now, guys. Like, so if you're just now joining us, there is a growing concern in the community that, like, half the community thinks Zebic is a scam, half the community says it's legit. And so we're looking at some information around Zebic since a lot of people own it. Okay, so let's just take a look here at some other stuff that I found here. So Cypress to Monaco, he's basically saying that people are, I'll just let you tell it. I'll read to you what he's saying here. He says, I'm so tired of people on Twitter. If you actually took some initiative and joined our private community, you'd know we'd regular break down projects, both legit ones we think are sketchy, with full transparency. Calling Zebic a scam because it had a correction just shows how surface level your understanding is. Projects correct. That's the market, not a rug. Zebic is literally speaking at the White House, at the House of Lords, on regulation and compliance. You think scams get that kind of access? So he is defending Zebic here. I see other people like Crypto with Klouse. This guy has a decent following on YouTube. He says, I posted a month ago that Zebic was a pump and dump scam. Can confirm. Where are all the players telling me and did their research? It's gold. Great project, great leadership, etc. Where are you, bro? There's also this crypto scam alert. Shill Fluencers are claiming that Sam Thapile. Let's look at this real quick. Hold on, let me get back to this. The founder of Zebic Network is a serial rug puller involved with multiple shady projects, including Movement. There are some influencers were aggressively promoting Zebic Network, claiming that it had partnerships with Ripple and XRP, most likely because they were paid to do so. Not long after the founder of Pump Fund was arrested, this Shill Fluencer dropped a suspiciously timed video. The pattern is becoming more clear. Founders and Shill Fluencers behind, I don't know why they call it this, these shit scams. So like it is difficult here. Let's see what this guy says.
I just had to sell over $100,000 worth of my Zebic. I sold everything. Everything is gone simply for this one reason. The founder of Zebic is a serial rugger. And I just, I can't hold a coin that the founder behind the scenes is just known for basically rugging projects. So every bit of Zebic that I had is gone. I sold everything.
All right. It is definitely hard to figure this out right now, guys, because you do have half the people saying it's a scam, and then you have other people defending it. So Sam is the founder of Zebic Protocol, has recently been linked to several controversies in the crypto space, particularly involving token dumps and market manipulation. However, there is no credible evidence or reputable reporting that significantly labels him a rug pull expert. Let's see. Move token scandal. The CEO of Zebic has been implicated in a $38 million Move token dumping scandal tied to Movement Labs. Reports allege that he was involved in market-making arrangements that allowed for large-scale token sales, which negatively impacted retail investors. Now, I don't know specifically what happened here. I do know that I've worked with my fair share of crypto projects, and sometimes they go out of their way to make side deals or OTC deals for tokens. And now, you know, whether you feel that is wrong or if you feel like there's nothing wrong with that, you know, this specific allegation, I've seen a lot of projects too. I don't know exactly what this person did, but basically large scale token sales, OTC, you know, I've seen a lot in the crypto space. Internal communications have leaked emails suggested that he played an influential behind the scenes role, but investigations are ongoing and no direct evidence of orchestrating a rug pull has been publicly confirmed. And they quote Rect News, and they also quote DG Coin Grabber. I've never heard of either one of these quote unquote news agencies. Here's Rect. I don't know, man. This is a harder one to identify. I'll be straight here. You know, who else? Like there was what is the guy in XRP? He's Zack. What is the guy's name? Zack XRP. Zack. Hold on. Zack. Is the guy's name Zack? Oh God, who? Yes, this guy. Okay, Zack Recctor. Zack Recctor Zebic. Because this gentleman, he has been like one of the biggest proponents of Zebic I've seen online. I don't know if he's being paid by Zebic or I don't know the background here, right? I don't know if he is being paid by the company to talk about them, but he was one of the most vocal persons about Zebic and its authenticity over the last maybe like few months. But it's very difficult. It's very difficult to call. I'll tell you, like when I'm looking at the website here, like this is something that we can learn together. Okay, when you're looking at a crypto company, right? Any crypto company. I don't understand why you put one name, right? You put one name and you have no last name and you have no LinkedIn, right? You have no real connections to these people that you can easily click on and find. They make you go work for it, which I don't personally like. Okay, you can do a reverse image search of these people. If you don't know how to do that, it's pretty simple. You just, you know, Google reverse image search. And sometimes this works and sometimes this doesn't, right? You can go like Google Images. And then what you can do is you can go back to this person. You can like, let's look at this guy, Simon. Let's save this image. We'll save this onto my desktop. We'll hit save. Okay, and then let's go back to here. I will drag this person's photo here, see if we can't find anything else. So here are the results that it came up with. Zebic, Hunter Wade. I don't know if that's the same guy. See, it's sometimes the reverse image search doesn't give you exactly what you need, but it's very difficult to find information on these people is what I'm trying to like tell you and get at here. Let me see what you guys are saying in the comments though, after we looked at all this stuff. Yeah, Zack Recctor. Thank you so much, Chris. I appreciate it. Yeah, Zach's been like really big proponent of them. I don't know, man. I don't talk to Zack. I guess I could message him to see if anything has changed. But Yeah, he's definitely a Zebic supporter. It's hard, man. I did reduce my position in Zebic from all this news. I like, you know, if it's a scam or if it's not a scam, I you know, I just don't want to have money invested into something that could possibly be a scam. Like if there's a chance that it is, I just don't want to take the risk. I have been, you know, there's been so many rugs and scams in crypto. It just makes me sick. Like I'd rather take that, you know, money and I sold it and I put it into Sui. That's what I did. I don't know. You know, I hope it still does well for the people that are going to stay into it. Obviously, I don't want to see those people hurt. But there's a lot of crazy shit going on right now, guys. They will speak tomorrow. You know what I wanted to do? I wanted to just fact check something here. Hold on. Where is that picture? Hold on. Let me pull something in here. Zebic. I wanted to fact check this. Let me save this. Save image. And I'm sure all the people that are posting about this already did this, but you know, I'm just going to take a second to do my extra due diligence here, since it just takes literally 20 seconds here. Is this image legit? Is this a real event with Zebic? Zebic and the House of Lords. It's interesting that they're going to be at the House of Lords. I thought they were trying to do payroll in America. I don't know. Just very interesting. The image promotes Zebic at Westminster event featuring Zebic network leaders. Multiple recent announcements from Zebic's official media accounts state that Zebic leadership can be invited to speak at the British Parliament House of Lords on July 10th, focusing on regulation and compliance. The names and titles of the speakers: Simon. So there's the guy. Here is the guy. All right, now we have his last name. We can look him up. LinkedIn. So I just really quickly, let me finish this off, and then I just want to take. I want to research these individual people. Hold on. Let me pull this person. Okay, hold on. All right. The names and titles of the speakers. The House of Lords does not allow external organizations to host events. Oh, wait, hold on a second here. Hold on a second now. Hold on, I have too many windows open. Let me close some of this stuff. Hold on. All right, so hold on. This is what I wanted to pull. Okay. Zebic at Westminster. Zebic thought leadership session in regulation and clients. Interesting. So hold on. The House of Lords does allow external organization to host events either sponsored by a member or, since 2018, directly with approval. These events can include talks and seminars by outside organizations, provided they follow parliamentary rules and are not for direct financial gain. Okay, so just so we if you want to research this, if you're going to stay in this, something that I would recommend you taking a look at is, how did they get the invite to the House of Lords? Did they pay to be there, or were they actually invited by a real lord or somebody in Parliament? That's something that I would spend some time looking at. Official Parliament listing as of July 8, 2025. The official House of Lords website lists upcoming events and general businesses, but does not provide a detailed public schedule or private event. Okay, well, that's not helpful. Many such sessions, especially those hosted by external groups, are not always listed in the main public calendar. Social media and community buzz. Man, this is a very difficult one, guys. I have to be straight with you. This is a very, very, very difficult one. Sorry, I didn't know I wasn't sharing my screen. I was reading through all of this context that I was just reading out loud to you. But here is the names of the people that are involved in the Zebic team. It says right here, Simon. I'm not even going to try to say his last name. And then also Neil Padi. So you can actually look up these people now on LinkedIn, since you have both of their names, right? Here's the guy, right? HCM and payroll investments. Interesting. Why doesn't he have Zebic listed? That's the guy, right? Hold on a second. Hold up on here now. Okay, hold on. Here we go. Okay, you tell me, is this the guy? It's the guy, right? Here is Simon. Okay. And then this is his LinkedIn page. Same picture, ladies and gentlemen. What is a little crazy here is he doesn't have Zebic listed as the company he's working for. Am I crazy here? That's AI, bro. I know it could be. It actually could be. Yeah, that's I live in the UK. Sounds dodgy. Jason, man, thank you for being here. I know it's probably late there, but it does sound pretty dodgy to me too, brother. Let's take this a step further, right? We have another name that we can look up, right? So we have this Neopatia guy, right? We can look his LinkedIn up, or her LinkedIn. I think this is it right here. All right, hold on. Let me see. If it's the same freaking photo, I'm gonna freaking lose my mind. Hold on. It's the same photo. It's the same photo. Here you go. Here it is. Oh God, hold on. Okay, so you guys are seeing this guy's photo. Let me zoom in here for you. So same photo right here it is, and here's the Zebic website. All right, same photo. I mean, it's not unusual. I have usually the same photo on my social medias. I do change it sometimes though. But I do want to check something here. So now we've verified that this is the right person. He does have Zebic listed here. He's been working for Zebic for 3 years and 3 months. Okay. You know what? Hold on a second. Do you have any official comments from Ripple, the company, about Zebic? I was like, it's like a dog with a bone here. Now I really want to understand this better. So this is how things happen. And I start to like go down a rabbit hole, and then I cannot, like, I get laser focused and I want to understand everything I can, like, right away about it. So interesting. There's no official public statements or press releases from Ripple, the company, directly confirming a partnership or collaboration with Zebic. Interesting. I do remember hearing them. I do remember hearing people at Zebic talking about a Ripple partnership, though. I think I played some of those clips for you guys. Hold on.
What you're talking about, enabling financial freedom, enabling, people of all ages to be able to access finance earlier than they would have received it beforehand, thinking about like cross-border payments and all of those kind of things. It feels very, very similar to Ripple and XRP and what's going on there. But of course, there's a lot that's being built there in terms of a community and the infrastructure. But
all right, that's not helpful. I'm trying to find any direct comment from Ripple about Zebic. It would be nice if you could just like ask Brad Garlinghouse, but I think that man's too busy. Listen up. Simon says that he believes the partnership talks with Ripple for the past 2 years. Okay, so here's the video I played.
So people have been talking about ZBCN as like the next XRP and stuff like that. What does that kind of comparison mean to you before we then get into kind of like, adoption of Zebic and that utility?
Well, I mean, we've been hearing it more and more recently. I'd say at Zebic, we have a ton of respect for Ripple and XRP and what they've built. We've been in talks with them now for the past couple of weeks about a potential product that we're working on together, but we're definitely on their radar. And I'd say it's definitely a company that Zebic respects a lot. Now, the similarities between...
You know what I find interesting, though? This person is the same as this person, right? Is this Simon? This is the same person, right? Why doesn't this person have an English accent? I'm confused about that part, because like if you look at this person's like history, lives in the UK, right? I mean, you look at his school, Queen's University. I mean, like, he spends all his time in the UK. Looks like he might be born and raised in the UK, but he talks like an American. I don't know, man. There's a lot of weird stuff going on here, guys. I think we could spend a lot of time on this. Watch Jake Claver's deep dive Zebic video. It's legit. You know what? I'll ask Jake. Dude. Thank you very much, Jake Claver. Jake, what's up, dude? I have been seeing a lot of FUD about Zebic. I could use your expertise. Is the FUD? All right, I asked him. I'll wait for his response, okay? All right, let's get back to the other news and information, guys. There's a lot of other stuff we need to get into, and I feel like we could talk about this subject for quite a long time. But yeah, it is something that, you know, it should concern you. You should spend more time researching it. But, you know, there are people that have already done all of that research that feel one way or another. And, you know, nothing I say or do here is going to change that. So just know that there is this FUD. And, you know, sometimes we see this in crypto and it's just that. It's just FUD to stop momentum on a project. And sometimes the FUD is 100% legit. It's very difficult to know which way this is going right now. So just, you know, be careful. The crypto market is all risk. Best of luck on that. Okay. Once I get any other updates, I will bring them into my other Sensei chats and update you along the way. Okay. Let's get back to this. Robinhood CEO Vlad Tenev says tokenization is the biggest innovation in the past decade. 16 seconds.
And you probably saw last week, Chairman Atkins of the SEC gave an interview about tokenization. He called it a great innovation. Mm-hmm. And we agree with that. We think tokenization is perhaps the biggest innovation to come into capital markets in the past decade. So, and you probably saw last.
All right. Something that we already know. $100 million are now sitting on the XRPLEVM sidechain. This is just a week old. If you're not familiar, let me show you some cool information here because I put together some stuff for you guys about this. Hold on. We're a little scattered here. Here we go. Let me move this over. And then let me move this over. Yes, here we go. All right, so I want to show you this. Okay, so in the first week, check this out. Nearly 1,400 smart contracts were deployed on the XRPLEVM sidechain. This is actually incredible. Obviously, the more projects that can be built and developed on the XRP or inside of the XRP ecosystem, this is going to greatly reduce the circulating supply of XRP because you're going to need XRP to make all of this stuff work. And if these are like DeFi protocols where you're locking up XRP for some type of reward or benefit, this will take XRP out of the circulating supply. Obviously, we need liquidity, we need development, we need builders, and that is what we are starting to see right now. This is one of the most important times we've had over the last 5 years. Because of the lawsuit, companies did not decide to come and build on the XRP ledger. They went with the safe route. They went to the Ethereum. They went to a layer 2. They went to Binance, right? AVAX. Now you are starting to see real developers coming into building the future. I wanted to take a look at this. I did this for a video. I will show this to you in case you wanted to get some information on this. If you're not familiar with what this is, Ripple and Persist Technology have launched the Ethereum virtual machine compatible sidechain for the XRP ledger. This enables developers to build and deploy Solidity smart contracts, bringing the full spectrum of Ethereum, dApps, DeFi, NFTs, and more into the XRP ecosystem. Before you ask me, the answer is yes, it does use XRP as its native gas token. It's wrapped XRP. If you're interested in like researching this, it's pretty simple. You can use an AI to kind of pull up some information about, I said, what are some of the most hype new XRP projects built with smart contracts? And it talks about some projects with cloud mining, DRML miner, XRPFM crypto. I haven't taken a look or researched either one of these. I just want to show you this real quick. Talks about asset tokenization and stable coins. You're going to have a lot of this being built out on the XRP ledger. Some of the top DeFi apps are some of the stuff that you probably heard about already. First Ledger, Magnetic, Moya Finance. I haven't heard of that one, or StayKX. I haven't heard of either one of those. So I'll be looking into these over the next few weeks. And, the reason this is generating hype because it's Ethereum compatibility. The EVM sidechain brings the vast Ethereum developer ecosystem and tooling to XRP, lowering the barriers for new projects and dApps. We're talking about cross-chain liquidity. Bridges like Axelar now allow seamless movement of assets between major blockchains, expanding the reach and utility of XRP's based projects. DeFi expansion, native lending, yield farming, and new financial primitives are positioning XRP as a serious contender in the decentralized finance. Talks about passive income innovations, real tokenization. So there's a lot of really cool things being built out right now in the XRP ledger. I did see this Bearable Guy post here, not financial advice. I do love these videos. I'm going to play this for you guys here. 51 seconds. Let's listen up.
I then started thinking about how Bearable Guy 123 posted his first ever 589 meme on 12.3% of the year, February 14th, a date he's highlighted multiple times. Well, it gets even crazier. You know how there's a reverse account of Bearable Guy 123? Okay. Well, what's 12.3% of the year in reverse then? What happens when you start at December 31 and go backwards to find 12.3% of the year? You land on November 16th, David Schwartz's birthday. The same day the original Teddy Roosevelt cartoon gave birth to teddy bears, the same day all 12 regional Federal Reserve banks went live.
I love some of this, these connections behind the scenes. There is Ripple Swell coming up in 2025. It's going to return to New York City. It's happening November 4th and 5th. If you are interested to go to Swell, you want to go ahead and apply. You have to send in some information to Ripple to ask them if they, if you can attend. Obviously, if you're a Ripple customer or client already, they're going to, let you in. But I don't have an invite to this. I filled the form out and asked if I could go. But if you're interested, you want to click on the thing I just posted, go to the, request to attend, and fill in the information. The golden ratio. Yeah, man, it gets kind of cool when you go into all this stuff. You need to request to approve. Just like when you refinance, you like to have to go meet with the bank rep. Or what are we talking about, Christopher? Are we talking about, secondary mortgages, HELOCs on the XRP ledger, like what they did with Fubon Bank? Is that what you're talking about? Fubon Bank, Ripple, HELOC. Like, are you talking about this? This right here? Yeah, I know. That's kind of crazy, right? Requesting tokenization. Forget New York. All good, guys. All good. Anyways, let's keep it going here then. I just wanted to see if you guys were talking about that. I did have this new DTCC video that I want to play for you, but let's first, Joseph Lubin was on CNBC talking about Ethereum treasury strategy. Let me go ahead and play this for you.
If you take a look at the ratio, ETH to BTC ratio, it's been pretty much coming down for the past few years. Why is that? Why do you think there's that discrepancy?
So Bitcoin has had a very clear narrative, and it's got a value proposition that people can understand and get behind. It's had Michael Saylor doing a really good job growing the brand and buying lots of Bitcoin. And Bitcoin's value proposition is now. Ethereum's value proposition has been perceived to be in the future. We've been building scalable infrastructure, layers of enabling infrastructure for about a decade, anticipating that all the activity of the internet and the web will move to Web3. And Web3 is really the natural evolution of the web protocols, sort of a re-decentralization of the World Wide Web. So Ethereum is scalable enough, affordable enough, legal enough in the United States. It's very usable right now, but we haven't had the applications and we haven't had the consumer end users and the enterprise end users because former Chair Gensler made it really unattractive to use tokens or issue tokens or build applications in our ecosystem. So that is all behind us. We still have a lot of ether out there and not enough activity to sop it up. And so that's...
Remember, Ethereum has an infinite supply. Also, Ethereum decided to build in Switzerland instead of the United States to avoid the United States. So, you know, I personally don't love the people from Ethereum and kind of how they have acted over the past few years. I really don't spend too much time on, you know, Joseph Lubin and Vitalik and what these guys are doing. But I know some of you do own Ethereum. And so let me just continue this.
A reason why we and others are doing the Ether treasury strategies. Not only is it a great business to run, but it is... it's going to be critical to enable the supply-demand dynamics of Ether to right size as we build more and more applications.
I'm not super interested. I don't know, man. Just Joseph Lubin has a weird way of just making me run away. He missed my question. What'd you say, Chris? What was the question? Can you type it again? Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm not watching. I'm not watching everyone's questions. Sorry, it's hard to be in two places at once. All generic ETH sucks. Hey, I mean, I'm not going to. I'm not going to disagree with you, my friend. I've got a bonus coming July 25th. I need to price to stay lower. I feel that, AK. I feel that. What are your thoughts on SharpLink Gaming with the ETH play? I actually don't know anything about SharpLink Gaming. Okay, hold on. SharpLink Gaming. What is that? Here, what is this? SharpLink Gaming Inc. One of the first NASDAQ listed companies to develop a... Oh, okay. I hear what you're saying. SharpLink announced its closing $425 million private placement led by Consensus Software Inc. So, yeah. You know who's leading this is Ethereum itself. So, okay. When you have companies putting together strategies for crypto treasuries, right? You would hope that those companies decided to do that because of all of the good news and utility of that ecosystem. This is Consensus not really having too many people raising their hands saying we want to do Ethereum. And so they are pushing this themselves, which, you know, I guess, but not something I'm super excited about. Hi from Australia. Hey, Franz, great to see you. Yeah, Chris, can you post it again? I'm looking for it now. Anyone know how much XRP is burned each day? Yes, I can actually tell you exactly how much. Hold on. I saw this the other day. Hold on. I saw this the other day. Let me see if I can find it for you. This is from June 13th. Conservative calculation, 11.5 million XRP. Hold on. 480 transactions, 3-minute period. Annual volume. No, that's not what I want. Hold on. I saw a post about this too. Like I was going to make a video about it, but I didn't. Here you go. Roughly 5,000 XRP is burned every single day. About that. Okay, hold on. Let me just go to Perplexity. This is instead of me looking for it. How much XRP is burned per day, and how long would it take to burn the whole supply? It's like I think I saw something that was like 70,000 years or something. I don't know. Let me see. I'm looking for you right now. Okay. How much? Let me just leave this up there while I'm doing that. Hey, Sensei, don't you think it feels like the system is waiting for the SEC case to be dropped? It does feel like that. It does feel like that, Sals. It really does, man. Okay, so here, yeah, 3 to 5,000 per day are permanently destroyed. It's about 0.00001 XRP per transaction. 100 billion, it would take 54,800 to 91,300 years. So none of us are going to be around unless they invent some type of like hyper sleep where you can go to sleep for, you know, a few thousand years and then wake up to see if we're still here. You know, that'd be kind of cool. Your XRP would probably be worth a whole lot, you know, by then. I'm still looking for your, how do you tokenize your house, Sensei? Oh, is that your question? That was a question? Okay. So, when you're tokenizing something, okay, you have the asset in the real world. So your house, okay, but you have a digital twin of that asset on the blockchain, which will say like, you know, let's just say it's your house in real life, your house on the blockchain. Okay. And when you go to sell your house, the digital representation, the value of that house will move instantaneously from you to whoever you sell it to. And then once the owner once the owner pays for everything and all this contracts are cleared and all that stuff, and they take a possession of the house, then they have it in real life. But the value will move instantaneously on the blockchain. Hope that was clear. About to sell my car to buy more XRP, man. Like, bro, like I made the decision. So, you know, I have enjoyed a nice sports car in my life since I was 19 years old. So I've had a nice car for 21 years. And I had to choose between, you know, keeping $1,000 car payment or saving $1,000 a month and putting that into crypto. I am sharing a car now with my wife so I can put more money into crypto. So I totally understand where you're coming from. Rub my ripples. And I love the name. I love the name, man. Love it. If the SEC case is over, Clarity Act. Yeah, dude. Yeah, there's a lot, man. Are you bullish on Flare Network? Yes. So Alex, Flare's been building for years, man. And they're like right now deploying all of the stuff that they've built over the last few years. So I do think Flare is probably something like, if people weren't paying attention to it the last few years, you still have a really good opportunity right now. Let's see here. Do I have to own my home outright to tokenize it? Or will it be up to my mortgage lender? It's currently Wells Fargo. That's a great question. That's a great question, Chris. So I think in the future, you know what? Let's do this. Let's look this up and then I'll tell you what I think. Okay. So as hold on. I'm just trying to figure out how I can word this. In the future, all homes will be tokenized if your home is not paid off. How do I ask this? If your home is not paid off and there is still a loan, who owns? Well, it's going to be the lender that owns the token, right? That represents your home. Actually, I don't need to look this up. This, you know, this is easy. Okay, so if your house is tokenized, right? You don't own your house or your car until it's paid off. The bank owns it, right? So if you are financing a car or if you're financing a house, on the paperwork, the owner of the paperwork is whatever institution is doing that. So if it's Wells Fargo, they will hold the token at Wells Fargo for your home. All right. And when that is paid off, then it would be transferred digitally to your wallet or whatever is your wallet. Now, you might have a digital wallet at Wells Fargo where they would hold your digital token representing your house at the bank, because you remember, banks are going to custody a lot of these financial assets. So home titles and car titles and all of these other types of things, your banks will want to custody for you if you want that. But I'm sure there's going to be other ways for you to do this, leaving your bank out of it if that's what you want to do. Wormhole, I just did a great video on Wormhole, man. Let me see if I can find it for you. I think interoperability is key on the XRP ledger. We've been talking about Wormhole for some time. I think it's definitely worth looking at. I think there's a lot of really good information coming out. Let me see if I can find it, man. Oh, it's been so busy. Look at the views coming back. 75,000, 42,000, 53,000. You guys are definitely showing up to watch my content. I really appreciate you. Let me see here. Wormhole. Man, it's somewhere in the last like 2 weeks. I will try to find it for you. Hold on. Let me see. No, that's not it. Hold on. Is this it? Hold on. No, that's not it. Shoot. I'd have to look for it. Wormhole is definitely worth looking into. You probably should spend some time on it, honestly. Yeah. What's up? 30%. Is it Wormhole? Sensei Chris posted his question above. How do I keep missing the question? This question. Is this the question, Ariana? Do I have to own my own home outright to tokenizing? That is going to be a very interesting question. I don't think it's you that will decide to get tokenized. If you still own, like if you still owe a loan on your house, I'm sure each bank will have like different standards, but the overall consensus here is the bank will own the home. And so they would decide whether to tokenize it or not to tokenize it. But if they're tokenizing everything, that is going to be tokenized, right? So the bank will make that decision for you. If your home is paid off, I guess then you probably could make the own decision. But if this is all moving to blockchain anyways, I think like it's going to happen regardless. It's a very difficult subject. We don't have a lot of information about it already. So I'm just taking the information that I have taken in personally through the last few years of research. That's how I see the process. Now that could change, as it really starts to develop, but should be good. Yeah, we researched this 3,000 to 5,000 burn daily. Let me catch up here. So we answered the question. We're good. I just asked my work for a $7,000 off holiday pay I built up so I can buy. Guess what? Hey man, Sal, I feel you, man. I totally understand where you're coming from, man. I too am trying to find extra money. Like I'm looking under the couch cushions, wherever I can find it, man. Sometimes like, you know what? I don't know if I'll tell that story. No, won't tell that story. Sensei, howdy from San Antonio, Texas. Today's my birthday. You are the one who introduced me to XRP. Now I'm all in. I devour your videos the moment they post. Keep up the good work, brother. Travis, let's do this, guys. Let's wish Travis a very happy birthday. I really appreciate you, Travis. Thank you for your love and your support, man. And I too am all in on XRP. So we're in the same boat, man. I really hope all of this stuff works out for us. I really do. Thank you for everything, man. So really, really appreciate you. All right. Thank you. Yeah. See, like a lot of people, I think, like you start to look at, I guess when I was younger, I wanted the nice car with the nice sound system and the nice tint, now it's like, how could I put more money into the thing that I mostly care about? And plus I work from home, the furthest my wife and I drive is to Costco. That's kind of like something a 40-year-old person would say, huh? But yeah, that is the extent of my driving experience these days. I miss California though, because I miss the highways. I looked this up, Sensei. Home tokenization is a lengthy process and very undermined until we have legislation and clarity. Thank you, Chris. Yeah, see, and that could change, right? Thank you, Chris. Appreciate you, man. That's what I love about this chat. You have some really smart people here that, could answer these types of questions on a dime. There's some really, look at that. All this birthday love for you, Travis. Love to see it, man. Love to see it, bro. What are any plans tonight, Travis? Are you going to is your loved ones taking you out to dinner? Are you going out with some friends? Let us know what you're going to do, man. Like how are you going to celebrate your birthday? So, Francis, you're talking about ISO, right? You're talking about ISO migration for FedWire and FedNow on the July 14th. I think that's what you're referring to here, right? Just confirm that's what you're referring to. I just don't want to give a rant on ISO if that's not what you're asking about. So see here, Flat AF says, how come at the same time they want your XRP, but you also want you to buy crypto? Oh shoot, hold on. Let me, oh shoot. I got to set a timer on here. I have physical therapy today at 3:00. I cannot miss that. So I almost forgot about it. And I now have an alarm. So I can hang out for another hour with you guys, and then I'll have to go to physical therapy. Oh, here, chat says, aloha sensei. Aloha again, sensei. I'm coming out to Oahu in September. Wanted to meet up and talk a little bit about XRP Barbecue Bash. Chad, my email is in the description. Send me an email. I'll be in Hawaii partly in September. I am going to Brazil. My brother-in-law is getting married in September. So I will not be in Hawaii from, I think, like the 15th to the 20th, but before and after I will be. So let me know. And my birthday is in September as well. So let me know, man. I appreciate you. I think there's a lot of, like, this is what I'm most excited about. You know, when people say, like, Sensei, what are you most looking forward to? Right? Yes, it's going to be great to not have to worry about money, because if you've ever been in a position where you've had to work paycheck to paycheck and you're not sure, you know, if in fact that money's going to come in, that can be extremely stressful. And, you know, as you start making more money as you get older, you start to think about other things than you know, living paycheck to paycheck. You start thinking about how you can help other people. And I think there are so many incredible people that are trying to do more with what they have right now. And if and when all of this crypto goes to where we think it's going to go, there's going to be a lot of good things that people will do to help the world out. And I think, you know, you're saying a little bit about that. And I feel very strongly, just like you do, about helping other people. I love that. Travis celebrating, watching the charts. You know, there is a healthy and a non-healthy addiction to crypto and watching price and things like that. You know, I try to not pay attention to the prices, because if I am, the only reason I'm like paying attention to the prices if I'm trying to add more of something. But like, I am not waking up every day and going right to my phone to look at the XRP price, because you know, if it goes to $3, great. If it goes to $5, great. I am here for a much bigger reason than that, you know? And so all of these, you know, things leading up to higher prices, those things are going to be amazing. And we'll celebrate those as they happen. But, you know, 10 cents or 20 cents a day is not going to, you know, do much. And so I try to just focus on the long of it. Chad, I'm looking forward to it, man. Yeah, definitely hit me up in the chat, man. Birthday bash Oahu for Sensei in September. Yeah. So my birthday is September 13th. So, you know, if you didn't know that, it is in September. I think, I don't know if it's on a, it's not on a Friday this year. It's on a, hold on, let's see. It's on a Saturday. It'll be a Saturday. So I'll be hanging out. Here for the long run. Yeah, I think like you got to have that mindset, you know, like you're here to do some real work, you know. Let's see here. Over 6 months ago, I gave a Moo referral code to someone. Just finding out today that they used it. Moo gave me $3. Moo? That sounds a little suspect. XRP only moves a few cents here and there. When it goes up to $20, an example, it will fluctuate in dollars like Solana. Yeah, I think, you know, there's not, people are underestimating the impact of ETFs and how that's going to affect the XRP price. And I just made a video about this. It's going to come out maybe tomorrow or the next day. I've been making so much content right now. It's not funny. I also am making a course on XRP too. So at the same time, I've been trying to build all of this content for the channel, but I'm also building a course that people can take about XRP, which should be done here in the next few weeks. So that'll be really cool for me. B-Day is 7/13, day before ISO. Well, Chris, man, happy birthday to you. Make sure that you drop in and we can wish you a happy birthday as well, my friend. That's what I thought too, man. But it sounds like it's going to happen. I thought they put the testimony off until next week. I thought that as well, but I am seeing more and more information that it's tomorrow. I think Congress is out, but the Senate is still there, because when I asked Perplexity, is the Senate banking committee happening tomorrow for Ripple and others about crypto regulation? Oh, committee. I fucking can't spell committee. Oh, well. There it is. Okay. Let me see. It says that it's still on. And I mean, Brad Garlinghouse is just tweeting about it. So I thought it was moved too, but here, let me see. Brad Garlinghouse sharing the right one. Yes, I am. See, he's tweeting 2 hours ago ahead of the hearing. So, it's happening tomorrow, man. I thought it was pushed back too, though, but it looks like it's happening. What's your thoughts on Caspa, Scotty? Actually, we called Caspa in Cryptonaires at half a penny. This was like in 2023. I haven't spent too much time on Caspa since, but that was an opportunity we did point out in Sensei chat and back then. You know who knows a lot about Caspa is oh god, what is his name? Hold on, I'll tell you exactly who. Like, this person knows as much about Caspa as I know about XRP. So hold on, let me see here. I was just talking to him the other day. Tactical investing, this gentleman here. This person, you should follow this person. If you have Caspa questions, this is probably the better person to ask. He's been talking about Caspa for like forever, man, forever. Actually, I've met with him a lot. We've done chats together and stuff like that years ago. He's a good guy. I wish Ripple would touch base with you and establish contact. Would be great for your channel. Chris, man, I 100% agree. I told you what happened, right? When I tried to reach out to somebody. So Crypto Erie actually connected me with somebody that works for Ripple. And they had set up a meeting for us to meet. And I was really excited. Like I didn't sleep the night before. Like I was like, my mind was racing, because this was like something that I've wanted for so long, right? To talk and to learn and to, better understand the plans, and set up a meeting. Didn't show up to the meeting. I was there early. When you show up to something 5 or 10 minutes early because you're so excited. I was there and waited 15 minutes after the meeting, when the meeting started, didn't show up. And then, I sent them a message saying, hey, we had a meeting that you set up the time. Can we, meet again? And he said, okay, same time tomorrow, use the same link. I'll be there. I said, great. I showed up, didn't come. And, I was pretty let down. I was pretty sad, I don't know. I guess I just need to keep doing what I'm doing, and eventually they will take notice. I don't know when, but I've pretty much sent everybody that I could that works at Ripple a LinkedIn request and a message. I've tweeted at these people. I've emailed Ripple directly. Very difficult to get in touch with those people if you're not on the inside. So I will keep trying. I promise you that. Bro, is 914 good people? I mean, you're a Virgo, you're good people, right? Generally feel that the Clarity Act will be a big one. Feels like legislation at which investment firms are waiting for which major lead. Oh, I played something in a recent video. Let me see if I can find it. Smoke posted it. Was it Smoke? Oh God, how do I spell his name? Yes, there it is. Okay, here. He posted a really good video. Let me see if I can find it. I'll find it here. It's just a second. Hold on. He posts a lot of content, so some of it's really good. Some of it's just like a repeat of, you know, what they posted a lot, but I know it's here. I know it when I'll see it. Sorry. I don't mean to make you dizzy. It's coming here. It's one of these videos. It's not this one's about tokenization. I haven't made a video on that one yet, but it's about Bitcoin, but it talks about the larger investment into crypto. Let me see here. Here. You've seen this one? Have you seen this video? I put this in a video a few days ago. This was actually a really good clip, man. This is a really good clip. I'll play a little bit of it, but this clip, you have to slow it down because it's sped up. And so this clip is like a 5 or 6 minute clip. I'm not going to play the full thing because I did make a video on this. If you're interested in the video that I made here, let me just show you this. If you haven't seen this video, it's this video with Trump, this video. Just 37,000 views a day ago. I go through the whole clip here and give you all of the context, but I'll give you a little taste of what is in this clip right now.
The president has said we will make the United States the world capital of crypto. His appointed an AI and crypto czar, the head of the Presidential Council of Advisors for Digital Assets, the chair of the Council of Economic Advisors, all of them strong crypto supporters. Every member of his cabinet has disclosed they personally own Bitcoin. His Treasury, Commerce, and Labor secretaries, all huge proponents of crypto. The chairs of the SEC, CFTC, FDIC, OCC, and the SBA, all strongly supporting crypto. This is a 180-degree turnaround from the Biden administration. Same thing in the Congress. The chairs of the House Financial Services Committee, the Senate Banking Committee, and the chairs of the Digital Asset Subcommittees, hugely supportive of crypto. A majority of both parties in Congress now support crypto. This is a total reversal of what we've seen over the past 4 years. Remember, in 2019, the SEC and FINRA issued a statement. The OCC issued a similar statement in 2021. The Fed issued a similar statement in 2022. All of those statements said the same thing. Banks may not custody crypto. Banks can't trade it. They can't hold it. They can't engage in any way. And this froze out, due to the Biden administration, banking engagement in crypto. On March 7th, the OCC issued an update. That was followed in April by the Fed and May by the SEC and FINRA. And all three of the updates rescinded their prior rules. Banks are now permitted to engage with crypto with no restrictions, any different from everything else that they do. So they're allowed to deal with crypto the same way they're allowed to deal with stocks and bonds and money. And the Department of Labor, remember when Fidelity announced that they were going to allow all of its 401k accounts to buy Bitcoin? Fidelity, the biggest 401k provider in the country. The Department of Labor immediately issued a notice saying that the Employee Benefit Security Administration will investigate any 401k plan that does that and take appropriate action. Scared the hell out of every 401k plan in the country and froze out Fidelity's efforts to put Bitcoin in 401ks. That was in 2022. Department of Labor rescinded.
All right. I'm not going to play the rest of it, guys. If you want to go watch that, I showed you the video. I'll even post the video here if you're interested in checking it out. But yeah, I give you all my context. I stop the video and I give you context and go watch that video if you can. Clarity Act will change a lot, man. Absolutely. Like it's regulation. We haven't had that, you know, it'll tell like which cryptos fall under the SEC jurisdiction, which cryptos fall under CFTC jurisdiction, you know, what rules around stable coins. The Genius Act will provide a lot of that clarity. And, you know, I'm excited. I hope, like, the one thing that you need to be paying attention to when they do pass all of this and Trump signs it into law, the biggest thing I will care about is when does it go into effect? Does it go into effect right away? Or do we have to wait till the end of the year? Or do we have to wait till the end of next year? Because that stuff happens. I think there was stuff in Trump's big, beautiful bill that doesn't go into effect until like 2026. And so when MiCA was passed in Europe, that was April of 23, and it didn't go into effect until the end of 24. So I'll be watching that piece of information because that's going to be the most important thing besides the regulation, of course. When do you think the SEC will finally drop the Ripple case? Oh, so Joseph, hey, great question. Thanks for being here. So the Brad Garlinghouse tweeted out, I think it was last week, that they are dropping their appeal. And the SEC has said that they are going to drop their appeal as well. And so if both sides drop the appeal, the secondary circuit court or whatever will, dismiss, the rest of the case. And I think that is what we're waiting for. So hopefully, I did see the timeline of 30 to 60 days. Obviously, it would be great if that happened sooner, but I don't think it's too much longer. And, I say that understanding that it's been almost 5 years. So I get the wanting to have it done. Man, we got Michael coming in. Michael Bremer saying, happy birthday, Travis. You're still getting love, Travis. Love to see that. Christopher Bergen. Oh, you guys are talking to each other. Great, great, great. Sold some of my IRA without a penalty, only tax implications to invest in crypto. Am I crazy or is it a smart idea? So Michael, anytime you're doing like stuff like that, you probably want to talk with a financial advisor, somebody that truly understands the implications of doing that. You want to talk to a tax expert to understand what your tax burdens might be. But do I think that's crazy? I can answer that part of the question. I don't think it's crazy. You know what's funny? I actually had the same conversation with my dad about an hour ago. Well, no. I've been streaming for an hour and a half. I had this conversation maybe a half hour before I came on. So about 2 hours ago, my dad called me and he asked me, should I be buying more XRP? He asked me that. And, rather than just saying yes, obviously, I know he is he has a decent stock portfolio. And so instead, what I asked him is, where do you believe the stock market will be by 2030? Where do you believe it will be? Like, will it be up 100%? Will it be up 2x, 5x? Will it be up, 50%, 25%? Will it be down? Like, where do you believe the stock market will be? And so he said, I don't think it'll, go up 100% because that is a lot. The stock market has gotten to it where it, I dropped my pen. The stock market has gotten to its point, over the last, 100 years or whatever. I don't know how long the stock market's been, gone for, but, even if you could get 50%, that would still be a really big gain. But could that money that you have invested in the stock market be put into something else that could have higher gains, right? Like crypto, like XRP or Bitcoin or XDC or XLM, right? And so I asked him this question, and I could hear on the other end of the phone that was kind of spinning some wheels in his head. And so, my dad is, in the high 70s, and, he's not as mobile as he used to be. And, I kind of told him that, if you wanted to take a final stab at true, monetary greatness, you have to take some risks, right? And those risks probably need to be now. And so, we'll see what he decides to do. But I think that conversation got some wheels spinning, right? Because, it really depends kind of like where you are financially and all this stuff. So you got to talk with financial advisors and tax people and all this stuff. But I don't think what you're saying here is crazy. It's pretty funny because I had that exact same conversation with him earlier. Man, I love that. I love that. Guys, listen, if and when XRP does whatever it's going to do, like I can imagine us having, because money won't be an issue at that point, like I'm not sure where this is going and how long it'll take, but I do know I'm in the right place at the right time. Okay. Now I need to get lucky, right? I've done the research. I've made the commitment. Now it's time to reap those benefits. And with regulation finally here, like I don't think people understand how big of a moment that'll be here in America, because for so long we've been told to stay away from crypto. It's bad. We'll sue you. Like the government will come after you. It's all scams, this and that, right? But really, they are building the future of the financial industry, the financial technology. And I want to be a part of that. And yes, not every technology is going to make it. There's going to be hacks. There's going to be fraud. There's going to be everything that you can think of is going to happen. Black swan events, all of that stuff will happen, but it's still the future of the technology, right? And so if you own most of these assets, there are going to be some that do incredible things. There's going to be some that do subpar. There's going to be some that don't do anything. There's going to be some that just go away and die. But the ones that do make it, those are the ones that people will be able to look back and say, I was a part of that. And that was special. And, you know, if and when that happens, I'm sure that a lot of people will be super excited to hang out with everybody else. And I'm sure there's going to be a lot of parties and a lot of, you know, community development and all of that stuff. And I look forward to sharing that, guys, with you. Let's see here. When you check XRP USDT, you are already seeing XRP gaining. Watch what's coming in the months. Love that, Chris. Love that, man. Spicy. I want the celebration on the yacht you posted. Yeah. Yeah. You know, I think so some of the posting that my team does, like some of it's engagement, right? And so Edo Farino was talking about renting a few yachts and going out and doing some crazy stuff. So I think he kind of got some from that, but I really look forward to that too, man. That'll be really cool. Sensei, should I keep my Songbird or should I convert it to Flare? So Songbird is the test network. So, you know, I don't think it's a crazy idea what you're asking me. I haven't been doing enough research on Songbird, so I really don't know what's going on behind the scenes with it. You know, if you feel that nothing's really happening and you have the ability to do that, Flare might be a good choice for that. You should just probably better understand if anything's going to happen with Songbird before you do that. All right. I mean, I think a lot of people believe that Bitcoin could crash. Like, we don't know what the impact of Bitcoin is going to be if USDT is kind of, you know, taken out at the knees, right? Like they have been, you know, pumping fake liquidity into a lot of this stuff for quite a long time. And, you know, what is this going to look like in a few years? I don't know. I mean, it would take something catastrophic happening to Bitcoin for it to go to nothing, you know? I don't know. It's hard to say. You know, if Satoshi started moving Bitcoin and dumping it, like that would freak people out. If there was some type of security or attack on the network, or if like a 51% attack, that would, you know, cause people to worry. But, you know, these things are very, very, you know, low on the you know, the risk appetite of them happening. So I don't know. There are things that would freak people out. I just don't know if they're going to happen. Right? Because, you know, if not, Bitcoin is going to go to 1 million and then it'll be at 5 million, you know, over the next few decades. I don't see what would stopping it from going to these levels. Here, let's do this. Let's get back into a few other things here. I did have a few other things I wanted to talk about before. Just give me a second. There is a new DTCC video that I just put a video together. This video is going to come out tomorrow, but I will give you a sneak peek at what's going to be in the video, because I like to do that since you guys are showing up here and supporting these chats. This is a new video from the DTCC. If you're not familiar, if you haven't seen this, this is the DTCC digital launchpad. Check this out.
So what we're seeing here is the asset conversion. I see it here. You see it on the big screen. This is the DTCC asset conversion mechanism. You can see the various tabs on the top: BNY, Euroclear, Canton, Finality. As long as the other party has a FinP2P router, we can add more and more of those. So it's very easy to convert between any ledger to any other ledger. Specifically here, we're focusing on the DTCC traditional ledger, which is an Apple share that was bought in the market. And now we want to convert it from off-chain to on-chain. And you can see that actually before we had a view of how much the user had before on-chain and off-chain. So now we're going to convert 400 shares from traditional to, remember, we started here with 600 on-chain. So we're supposed to finish with 1,000 on-chain. And now you can see you have 1,000 on-chain, you have 400 less on the traditional ledger, and the total remains exactly the same. So these are just two ways for DTCC to hold the asset. It can be in the traditional ledger, it can be the digital ledger. For all intended purposes, it's the same, only the digital ledger has all the advantages of instant settlement.
So behind the scenes, what's happening in this conversion flow is the value is actually moving from the DTC custody, the participant's DTC custody account to a control account. The tokens are then being issued and delivered. So what the party is actually holding is a digital twin against that DTC holding.
we're moving on to, to the next demonstration, which is basically for the client that actually received the asset in digital form is now putting on an offer to sell it to the next client. So now he's trying to sell 1,000 shares of Apple. We're doing something interesting here. The payment mechanism is a stable coin. So we're going to show a traditional asset moved to digital asset on the platform, and you can see now that the client published an indication of interest to sell 1,000 shares for 200 shares each. Okay. Now we can go to another client, and that other client is basically wanting to buy the asset. They can see that the asset is available for sale. So I'm going to click.
So this is the platform that you can move stocks from the real world onto blockchain. So this is actually a really cool new step. I have never seen this video before. I thought it was really cool to share. Somebody did ask me a question in the chat. Do I think XRP could go to 100K? And I just want to show you the math on this because, you know, I don't want to set unreasonable expectations, and 100K is a bit unreasonable. So, you know, it's a great question. You know, thank you for asking it, but let me just show you the math on what this would need to be for $100,000 per token. You would need a $10 quadrillion market cap for XRP. Now, there's not enough money in the world. Like every single asset in the world would need to be on the ledger, or a large part of it. And like you could do something like this. Like it's not impossible, but there'd be a whole lot of crazy stuff that would need to happen to do it. You would need to lower the circulating supply down tremendously. If you could lower the circulating supply to like 1%, where like people's XRP was locked up in like staking contracts or treasury contracts or something crazy, you could get there with $100 trillion market cap for XRP. So now if we kind of use the same math at 10% circulating supply, you would need a market cap of $1 quadrillion to get to 100K per XRP. These numbers are just like astronomical. Like you would need all the money, all the money, everything in the world would need to be traded on the XRP ledger. And I just don't think is it safe to have everything on one anything? You know, I just don't know. Like, I don't think though. I think those prices are you know, I don't think we're going to see 100K in our lifetimes. Now, you know, in 100 years or something like that, like, you know, as more money gets created, as inflation gets worse, and as money printing continues, like, is it impossible to get to these prices? Maybe not, but you know, you might be paying like $50,000 for a cup of coffee, you know, and we could be at these type of levels, right? But just, I just think it's kind of fairy tale for 100K. I don't even think in 10 years, man. Like I really don't think in 10 years. Like you would need to go read this. Hold on. Hold on. Let me think. I'm trying to think who put this together. I'm looking for the report that Molly Elmore and company, Molly Elmore, 500K XRP. Molly Elmore got with a bunch of other people. Man, my mind is just not coming back to the right information in my head. Here. This is part of the document. What is the law firm that she worked with that put this together? Does anyone remember? Guess who just joined Kryptonaires? This guy, Christopher. Oh man, love to have you, brother. Thank you. Hey, listen, if you get a DM from somebody claiming to be me, remember it's probably not me. All right. So just verify that you are talking to me, the admin, in the Discord. Like if you're looking in the Discord, let me just show you this real quick because I don't want you. You know, it's Discord, and Discord does not have a handle on bots. They are pretty terrible when it comes to that. All right. So just so you know, let me just show you this real quick. In Discord, you will see this. My name is here, right here. Won't DM you. Okay. So just make sure that you are in fact talking with the real me. But I'll look for you. I'll try to reach out to you. Just Like if somebody starts saying, you know, send money to this platform or I'm investing here, you should send money. Scam. Don't do it. All right. Just be careful. Thank you for joining though. We'd love to have you, man. Hold on. I wanted to, it's who, you guys know what I'm talking about here, right? No. It was, what is the law firm? No, you know, I can find it. I know how to find it. Sometimes I'm just going 35,000 miles a second, 35K XRP. This is how I can find it. 35K XRP. No, this is it. Okay. And who it is? Oh, they didn't. What's this guy's name? Val Hill Capital. Val Hill Capital XRP. Oh, XRP. Hold on. Val Hill Capital. I'm looking for their breakdown. Hold on. Val Hill Capital XRP. No, I don't want to go there. All right, hold on. Jimmy Valley. That's what I'm looking for. Jimmy Valley. Val Hill Capital XRP. Oh God, what is the document called? XRP. I'm getting closer though. I'm getting closer. I'm getting closer. Hold on. Jimmy Valley. Val Hill Advisors. Val Hill Advisors XRP. Why doesn't it pull up their fucking website? This is why I don't use Google anymore. Google is just trash, man. Oh, here, I found it. Found it. Okay, they should have it here on the website. Portfolio team about. No, portfolio. I'm looking for the XRP document that they put together. I don't know why it's not here. Hold on. Molly Elmore. No, this is not the right Molly Elmore. Oh my God, there's so many different scam Molly Elmores. Okay, I can't find it. I was trying to get you the document that they break down how to get to a price like XRP, like one of their dude, XRP Academy. Okay, I'll look for it, man. I'll look for it. Anyways, my mind is I'm not coming up with it. I'm trying to find the document that they put together with Molly Elmore and a few other people talking about the different prices for XRP valuation model, value capital valuation model XRP. That is what I'm looking for. Okay, let me see if I can find it. Man, these freaking scrubs. Hold on. It's like they took this document off the internet. What the fudge muffins? Oh. See, this is what it looks like. I need a link to the actual document though. Estimate. This estimate. Give me the document. Give me the document. Ah! Yes. Look at that. See, I could find it. You point me in the right direction and I will get there, my friends. I will freaking get there. Okay, so what are we looking for? We're looking for the $500,000 valuation, right? Which one is it? Hold on. This document is very difficult to go through. Okay, yeah, here you go. We're looking for the quantum liquidity. Quantum liquidity. No, did I pass it? I passed it. Quantum liquid. Well, here it is. Here it is. Here it is. Here it. Oh. Okay. Here. Okay. So this is how you get to a $513,000 XRP. Okay. So this is called the quantum liquidity model. This was put together by Molly Elmore, Val Hill Capital, and some other really incredible, smart people. So I just want to give them full credit. I'll post the paper once I'm done reading it. Okay. Exact proportions, a collateralization model built on base 10 mathematical principles. And so model assumptions assumes that all money, present and future, is collateralized on the XRP ledger. Assumes XRPL becomes world reserve currency. Quantum markets efficiency increase the tradable hours 5.3x. Increase in market participants 5 billion to 8 billion. So this is including everybody on the planet. And it talks about the financial system that is fully collateralized must allow for all the value that exists now and in the future within the ecosystem. The battery must be fully charged beyond what it is needed short-term uses. Talks about umbrella coverage, umbrella insurance policies designed to cover extreme conditions, aka all the money. Too much coverage is not a problem, but an ecosystem, however, too little coverage could lead to a crisis. It says quantum liquidity coverage means that XRP price that provides the necessary liquidity to store all the money present and future. And so here's kind of the math that they put up here. Total global value. Is that 10? Is that 1 0 and 45 other zeros? I don't know. 100 quadrillion divided by 100 billion. And this is, 2030 PVE 10 value, 1 million. Then XRP adjusted discount rate, 513,000. And so this is describing all the money. So you would literally need all of the money to get to prices like that. That's what I was trying to say. Like, this is probably not something that we should count on. But, if you want to take some time to research that, if you weren't here when that originally came out, please take some time to take a look at that. You know what? I did want to, I know that I'm getting sidetracked on a bunch of different things, and I want to answer some more of your questions. I did want to show you one thing, though. Okay. So, I have started to, hold on, let me just pull this up. I saw this and I thought this was a really cool offer. Hold on. All right. Let me see here. Where is it? Hold on. Now I can't find what I wanted to show you. Hold on. Is this the right one? Hold on. I have so much stuff open. Okay, this is what I wanted. This is what I wanted. Okay. Okay. I did want to show you this because people are always asking about trading bots and different things. 3 commas actually has a pretty crazy sale here. People are always like, hey, like what trading bots should I use, and companies and this and that. There, 3 commas is actually a company that has been around since 2017 in the crypto market, and I have started to work with them. So I just wanted to point this out to you guys really quickly in case you were interested, because this is only available for like another few days. And so here, if you are interested to sign up, you can get a month of their technology for $1. So if you wanted to ever test this, now is a pretty good time, because I haven't seen a sale like this ever before. 3 days left to lock in your $1 3 commas plan. You can special price for pro and expert upgrades too. Ends July 11th. So by the time I do my next chat, this won't be out. But I have started working with 3 commas because they're a very reputable company, and I wanted to just make sure you guys understood that this offer was here. I do have a referral code if you're interested in signing up for that $1 offer. I'll leave it at that. Okay. If you don't know who 3 commas is, if you use different types of trading bots and, algorithms, they have one of the biggest and most used strategies that I've seen. Let me just show you this. So they have, look, it's 2 million registered users. Okay. They have Oh, damn, I have too many windows open. 2.4 million exchange accounts, 15.5 million strategies executed. The cool thing is you can actually back test your strategy before you launch it. You can use previous data for the crypto market to back test to see. They work with a bunch of different exchanges too. Here are all the 134,000 active community members, and they are on pretty much all of the biggest exchanges. So if you're interested in taking advantage of that $1 offer for 1 month, please go take a look at that. I'll leave it at that. I don't want to spend too much other time talking about this, but I did want to point out they're having some kind of kick-ass sale. All right. Did you guys see this new news with Ondo and Oasis? You know, this does involve Ripple and XRP, but not too much, right? Because you know you can do tokenized treasuries through Ondo on the XRP ledger. Ondo bought Oasis Pro, so that is probably good for any Ondo holders. I don't know if you've seen this information, but it's pretty good. What's up, Kate? Kate is in the house. Great to see you, Kate. Thank you for being here. Shane Casey. I'm not related to a famous actor, but you may have been hypnotized in school by my uncle, Don Spencer. Okay, cool, man. Right on. Party. Bitcoin influencers will never have a channel as honest and forward-thinking as the work you do, Sensei. I appreciate you, Chris. Thank you, man. Thank you. You know, like, the crypto space is very difficult to maneuver. There's a lot of really cool technology to get excited about, but it also comes with extreme risk. Extreme risk. You just got to be careful out here. You know, like, I used to talk a lot about new DeFi projects, and if you've noticed over the years, I've talked less and less about a lot of projects, right? Because if I told you about like 10 new DeFi projects today, chances are in a month from now, 5 of them probably wouldn't be here, right? Either it was a scam, or the technology failed, or somebody on the team left, or the community left. Something like that happens, right? And so you just got to be very careful. And that's why I'm very particular about what I talk about on these live streams now, because I know there is, you know, right now there's about almost 1,500 people watching, 1,180 on X, about 300 on YouTube. And you guys are all very important to me. Each one of you are extremely important to me. And the last thing I want to do is ever put you guys in a situation where I'm talking about something and then a month from now or 6 months from now, that technology fails. So I promise to do better on my end to just talk about things that I truly believe are legitimate and good. And, you know, I just want to, if you're just getting into crypto, please understand that this industry is all risk, and you will, if you haven't yet, run into a scam or a project that fails, and just be careful. All right. It's difficult, but I appreciate you, Chris. I really do. I really, really do. Zaman is a great wallet. I will second that. Zaman is a really good wallet for XRP. I believe it's Ripple owned. Is Zaman Ripple owned? I know it was built with like open source technology. I don't know if it's Ripple owned though. Let me see. I can find out here in just a jiffy here. We can search this in a second. Does Ripple the company own Zaman wallet? Ripple behind the company does not own the Zaman wallet. Formerly known as Exum, the development and operated by XRPL Labs, which is a privately owned company based in the Netherlands. So XRP Labs is the people behind Zaman, but they have a good reputation in the space. Richard, great to see you, man. How are you doing, Richard? Sensei, do you own any Bitcoin? Is it worth the small return? So a few years ago, I owned it was like 4 or 5 Bitcoin, and I sold that to buy more XRP. And at the time, you know, probably would have been better to hold the Bitcoin and then sell it like at today's prices and go back. But at the same time, you know, you're buying XRP at a higher price today. I am not putting money into Bitcoin right now. I believe that Bitcoin is going to do well. But I think there is more reward if I take, greater risk with, XRP, XLM, HBAR, SUI, and other stuff. I just think I would make more money in the long run by doing that. So, yeah, I think it'll be successful. It already is successful. I think it'll go to 1 million. I probably think it'll go to 5 million eventually here. But that if I put all of my money into Bitcoin today, I would probably have a nice life. But like, if I want to make like legendary generational money that I can pass down to future, generations that currently I don't have, I got to take the risk. Bitcoin is the safer play probably in the long run. But I'm rolling the dice. Yeah, never buy any hardware wallet from Amazon. That is a great piece of advice right there from Billy. Thank you, Billy. Anytime you are on a website that allows anybody to sell, you could be buying a wallet that was pre-bought and opened, and there's a lot of fake stuff online. Buy directly from Ledger itself or a retailer that sells Ledger devices. But even if you go to a retailer, you still got to take a risk that somebody at that retail store didn't do something shady. I would say buy directly from Ledger if you can. Shopping for the baby? All right, man. Father likes stuff. I got you, brother. Got you. Cashed out some IRA tax implications only to invest in XRP. Good move, or am I crazy? Michael, I don't think you're crazy. I don't think you're crazy. I don't think you're crazy at all. You are weighing risk. And I'm sure you had this conversation with your financial advisor. But I understand why you did it. I understand. I get it. And I think a lot of people are in your shoes. And I think a lot of people will make the same decision you did. And I think a lot of people won't make the same decision you did. So I guess we'll find out if it was a good idea or not. If XRP goes to like $10 in the next six months, it'll be a good idea, right? Because you have made more money. What is your break-even point? Do you know? Let's say you cashed out $10,000, you have to pay, 30% or 40% in taxes, right? So, at what point is your break-even point? I'm sure you figured that out yet, right? I could tell you, I could get up here and tell you that I got everything all figured out, that I know what's going to happen, right? And all I'm doing is making an educated guess off of the information that I take in, and that's all everybody's doing here, because nobody truly knows the future. And life can throw curveballs at you. If you've been around long enough, you know that sometimes that you think something's going to happen, and then it doesn't, and that's the risk that we're all taking right now. And that risk is enormous. And some people are risking everything that they have, right? I got to respect it. I'm one of those people. So I get it. It's going to be an exciting ride, whatever happens. And I think that we're backing the right horse here. Ripple becoming a bank would really be an incredible step forward. Legislation, XRP spot ETF. Like, there's so many things right now that are just so close to our reach. Powerful things, things that if we joked about a few years ago, people would say we're crazy. But You know, I've been called crazy before, you know, for believing in XRP when a lot of people dismissed it and counted it out and said it would never go anywhere, you know, and I don't even think we've fully gotten started yet. I really don't. I think there's some initial FOMO, but I don't even think we're even close to where this is going to end up. So it'll be a ride, guys. It'll be a ride. And I appreciate each and every one of you that's on this ride with me. And it's an honor. It's an honor. Don't put all your eggs in one basket. So absolutely, don't put all your eggs in one basket. This is why I don't invest in just one crypto asset. I invest in, many. But yeah, I mean, a good financial advisor will tell you never to put everything in just one type of asset. I just don't care about stocks. I don't care. I don't have enough money right now to care about bonds. I'm taking a swing. We'll see if it worked out, We'll see if it works out. Yeah, man. Edgar, you're right. The meeting tomorrow will silence a lot of doubters, and it's going to be an incredible moment to see Brad Garlinghouse in front of the Senate Banking Committee. Like, how far have we all come? Because maybe we're not the head of Ripple, maybe we're not working for Ripple, but we have been in this fight with Ripple since it started. And we're not making decisions at the company, and we're not building the future technology, but we are supporting this community, and the XRP community is incredible. I mean, there's people from all different countries, all different, gender, walks of life, races, ages, and we all have something in common, the love for this technology. And that's special. That is incredibly special. And I've met so many incredible people doing these chats, for the last three years. It's just been crazy, man. It's been a great ride. Best ride of our lives. Well said, Kate. Well said. It should be, Chris. It should be. I'll look out for it. Let me see if I can find out for you, man. Give me a second. Will the Senate Banking Committee hearing tomorrow be televised? All right. Let me see here. So let's see. The Senate Banking Urban Committee hearing scheduled for tomorrow, July 9th, 10:15 a.m. Eastern. We held an open session on hybrid format. This means that the public can access the proceedings, and is standard for such open sessions to be webcast live. So yes, it should be. Yes, it should be. 10 a.m. Eastern is like 4 a.m. for me. It's 4:15 a.m. I won't be awake at 4:15. I will try to wake up early, like 5:30, and I'll jump right on and see if I can find clips and information. And maybe I'll do like a special live tomorrow. I don't know. I don't know what yet. Depends like what is said. If there's some crazy things that are said, I will do my best to either get a video out that day about it or go live and talk about it. Well said, Robert. Lots of ups and downs, but enjoyed every minute. Nowhere else I'd rather be. I'd rather be love my XRP fam, man. This is the people, man. This is what makes all of this worth it, right? Everybody in the chat, you are all different people, but you all want the same thing. I was watching Ted Lasso the other day. What was he saying? He's like, it's going to work out. It might not work out the way you think it's going to work out, but it'll work out. Right. And he says like, you're all in this together and you're going through all of this together. And, I'm sure that you've already made some people, friends, people that are in the crypto space that you probably wouldn't have met if not involved here. Right. And so, use those connections, use those partnerships, use those friendships, learn and grow, keep going. We're not even through the second act here. We still have a lot more to learn and a lot more to go, man. XRP King, what's going on? Who's in the ICU? Your brother? Sorry to hear that, man. I hope he's better quickly. That's tough, man. That's tough. Our thoughts and prayers go out to him, okay? XRP King. One heartbeat, XRP army. That's powerful. I like that. I really like that. Bitcoin has not the tech to be used as global payment and settlement. Slow and clunky. XRP, SHX, XLM, SEC, HBAR, top front, in my opinion. James, I mean, you got some really good ideas there, man. I think almost everything you mentioned, I like there. What is SEC? SEC. Is that a cryptocurrency or are you just saying like SEC? I don't know what that is. I mean, everything else that you said I liked, but I don't know what SEC is, my man. Thank you for sharing though. Keep the good vibes up. Aloha. Gotta have the good vibes, guys. Show me the money. You guys are fun. All right, listen, I have to go to physical therapy or I'm going to be in trouble. I got to talk shows. My physical therapist and I, we share all the, our favorite shows that we're watching right now. And I can't miss this conversation because I just got her hooked on Gilded Age. And that's one of my favorite shows. And man, she loves it now. So I got to go do that. I got to go do the stuff for my hip. I will see you either tomorrow or I'll see you Friday for a brand new chat, guys. Thank you for spending this time with me. Thank you, Ariana. Thank you, LAX. I didn't see Curtis today, but thank you, every single one of you that is participating in the chat, answering questions, sending good vibes, sending love. I want to wish Travis a happy birthday. XRP King, I wish your brother a smooth and healthy recovery. I'm so sorry to hear that he's going through all of that. But listen, I love each and every one of you. Thank you so much for all of your support, guys. You mean the world to me. I just want you to know that, all right? I'll see you guys either tomorrow or on Friday, all right? Peace. We did it, Luna!